Welcome back, everyone. Palantir had some nasty price action towards the end of the day today, and I just want to address what exactly happened so there's not any uncertainty here. It's actually a positive development. I'm going to explain why exactly, but a fall of 10% is a little worrying, especially when it happens in the last 10 minutes of the trading day. But I want to get into this. No, it's not because Jim Cramer said Palantir is a $200 stock, masquerading as a $144 stock, although Palantir has had its history with Jim Cramer. This is what happened here. We had about 3 million shares worth being sold. If you've been paying attention, this is around the time of year when we have the Russell Index rebalancing every year around this time, around June 27th, which is today as I'm recording this. They rebalance the index, so that shifts a lot of underlying capital markets and names that are moving in or out of the indices. So here are the rest of those dates if you're interested. The bottom line is Palantir is moving out of the mid-cap index and actually into the large cap one, which is positive. But I'm going to explain by reading this article exactly what has happened. So this was Reuters, June 25th, a couple days ago, talking about the meteoric rally in Palantir shares. Every year, the Russell Index refreshes the components. Friday, today, will be the last time the indexes are reconstituted by the Russell once per year, other than when the initial public offerings were added on a quarterly basis. So the reshuffle forces fund managers to adjust their portfolios to reflect the new weightings and components. Chief Investment Officer at Northstar Investment Management says, we do pay attention to it because we own a lot of companies that are borderline between being in or out of the Russell 2000. It does seem to be a positive, obviously, for companies going into the index and negative when they're coming out, as Palantir has skyrocketed more than 460% since last year's reconstitution. It is expected to, and now that we're reading this after the fact, has moved into the top 200 large cap names in the Russell 1000, creating a void among the mid-cap tech sector. And actually, Steven, a mid-cap equity strategist at Jefferies Financial Group in New York, anticipated that this would create a drop of more than 11% for the technology sector in the Russell Mid-Cap Growth Index. Palantir dropped about 10%, so right in line, actually a little less so. He's saying he expected Palantir to see the most selling pressure by dollars from passive managers for the reconstitution. We'll just skip ahead here. Companies that are being added to the indexes usually see an increase in demand, but that does not always translate to a rise in prices, or what is known as the wrong way when the stock falls. Okay, thanks for that. Roberts notes that while the additions to the Russell 1000 are generally seeing a climb in the price, the small cap inclusions in the Russell 2000 have declined. So this is just a very quick update. I wanted to explain what was happening. It's not as if Palantir is no longer in the Russell index. It's that they're moving out of one, and my understanding is into another, which is a positive development, but obviously it does impact the stock when you've grown so significantly in the mid-cap category and you're moving out of that. Reason for the video, once again, explain this is not a fundamental sell down in Palantir stock. If anything, it's a pretty natural, widely expected one, actually performing better than what the analysts said. And I'm sure it will get bid back up. So nice little dip, nothing too significant, but hopefully all of that makes sense. Love to hear your thoughts. Until next time.